Too many people are dying or being injured on our roads. On average, 43 Territorians die and 500 are seriously injured on our roads each year. The Towards Zero campaign encourages everyone to work together towards a safe systems approach where no one is killed or seriously injured. The players today are wearing yellow armbands, and captains are also wearing the Zero Guernseys to honour those people who have died on our roads and to show that road safety is everyone's responsibility. Today, we congratulate all teams for supporting road safety in their community and pledging to drive safely.
Well, good evening and welcome to TIO Stadium for round 8 of the TIO NTFL Men's Premier League, with St Mary's up against the Tiwi Bombers. In the commentary box this evening, myself, Matt Hepworth, Ricky Nolan and Rob Cross. Ricky, we might start with you. Both these teams coming off pretty big wins last week and both looking pretty impressive on paper again tonight.
Yeah, I reckon they've probably got two of the strongest sides for the year, and let's not forget the last time those two sides met was probably one of the greatest games of football, and I'm probably... You think I'm over-exaggerating here, but I reckon it was one of the best games of NTFL football I have ever seen.
Round 3, that was the Tiwi Bombers, 127 getting up over St Mary's, 113. Rob, just taking a look out on the field today, St Mary's looking pretty fit and impressive.
Yeah, they've got a good side in. Ricky just alluded to it, that both sides look pretty strong tonight. And one player very keen to see, Jackson Geary's back in the lineup tonight for St Mary's. So he'll add a lot to this team. They've got a very strong body team in. And to match that, I think there's half a dozen of the Tiwi Bombers as well, a very, very strong body lineup as well.
Just interesting, the last time they played, Tiwi blew St Mary's out of the water, 10-1 in the first quarter. St Mary's come back and kicked 9 goals in the second quarter. It was one of the most entertaining games I've seen. So be interesting to see. I think Saints will be a lot more tighter than what they were in that first quarter. Just allowed Tiwi to play their run-on game. But as you said, Rob, this is probably the biggest bodied Tiwi side I've seen for a long time. They've got a strong side today, Tiwi, but so are Saints as well. So we're in for an absolute ripper.
Of course, today's round is the Towards Zero road safety round. You'll notice the Men's Premier League captains wearing the number 0 on their Guernsey to represent the aim of Towards Zero lives lost on our roads, with play just about to get underway here at TIO Stadium.
Should be a cracking game. That round 3 match was unbelievable. 10-1 to the Tiwi Bombers in the first quarter. St Mary's 9-2 in the second. And then it became a dogfight, and after trailing by so much at quarter time, they had a 3-goal lead in the last quarter, Saints, but Tiwi got a second win. Can it be a repeat tonight? There might be a little bit of rain later on. Josh Cheeky out of the middle for Saints, kicks it out towards the boundary line, towards the left forward pocket. It's kept in momentarily. It now trickles out of bounds. So Saints go forward first. And Ricky Nolan, one of the old stars, one of the superstars of the modern era in green, Peter McFarlane, back in the goal square.
It is good to see Peter out there, 8-time premiership player. And speaking to him, he says he's fitter than he's ever been. So I reckon he might be a bit rusty. He didn't play last week. Hasn't played or trained for a few weeks. We'll see how he goes.
Whale Buxton did well. Clever Borioli. Quick snap from Paredes across the face of goal. One bounce out of bounds in the right forward pocket. That'll be a good battle tonight too, Rick. Whale Buxton up against Ryan Smith, who's probably one of the best ruckmen, if not the best in the comp, I reckon.
Ryan Smith played his best game of football I've ever seen him play last week. I thought he absolutely single-handedly destroyed Nightcliff. So he's in good form.
Two big men, works his way to the front. Smith wins the tap down. But the Tiwi Bombers will clear. The kick comes out towards the half-back flank. Well gathered there by Darcy. Darcy's centering ball was pinpoint. Just cleared the hands there and found Jeffrey Simon. They can clear off half-back. Clever kick from Munkara. Finds the chest of his teammate Tipping Woody. He goes towards full forward. Another beautifully weighted ball. The long lead from Best. And he's got it directly in front, 35 metres out.
Moved the ball pretty well then. So, yeah, Best is from the Vermont Football Club. A very good player and a dead-eye dick, so we'll see how he goes here from about 48 metres directly in front.
Dion Munkara, the best ground kick in the competition, if not Australia, I reckon. Gives it to Jake Best, who hits the post. First score on the board, Tiwi lead by a point.
Good ball movement. Saints got the footy out of the seat. Ben Rioli starting forward, known as a backman, but I do like it. He does do very well up forward as well.
So out it comes towards left half back. Long, that was Anthony, went up. It comes back to Jason Purantatameri, and another spearing ball into Best. A little bit further out this time, about 55 out, 45-degree angle. Right half forward flank, kicks in towards full forward. He's got Whale Buxton flying, and Whale Buxton marks 25 metres out, slight angle.
So you try and halve the footy there. Davis got it to the big boy. Good to see him push forward. Buxton, he's been a great pickup for Tiwi. And we'll see how he kicks about 20 metres directly in front.
Saw him on the boundary before the game. Whale's unkind. He's more like a killer whale because he's so sleek and fit, and huge. And can he kick a goal? He moved well. He's been competing in the back line. He pops it on the left boot. He's across the face of goal and behind only.
Let Saints off twice. Interesting, Anthony Wilson taking the kick. Jake Long is really improved as a young player in that position, but Anthony Wilson says, I'm doing it tonight.
Is it kept in? Just, says the umpire. Hams. Darcy was there as well. Leroy Larson now picks it up. And Saints from half back around the grandstand side. Standing away is Jones. And he has the mark knocked away. And it's paid. So Jones centres it, and it's cut off though by Paredes. Couldn't complete the mark. He's tackled by Jeffrey Simon strongly. Paredes through brute force wriggled away and got a handball off. Well, good pressure by the Saints. Here's Wilson, slips the handball through. Braxton Armat was excellent. Up towards Aidan Hill. Now to Shannon Rioli. Chopped down by Jones. The intercept through the legs though. Opportunity here for Rioli. Can he pick it up? He's set upon by red jumpers of the Tiwi Bombers. Now it's fed out. Shannon Rioli fitting the skipper in 0. Brings up the first 6-pointer of the match, and the Saints lead by 4 points.
Can Jason Purantatameri's accidentally handballed the ball to Shannon Rioli then. So, yeah, they get the ball forward. I thought Shannon would have a shot from 50. I reckon his brother was there, Ben, so he thought I'll have a go at kicking it to Ben. Ben was a bit fumbly. He needs to work on that during the week, Ben, below your knees. I reckon Jason Purantatameri's fed this out. We'll see. No, Braxton Armat, awesome. Very good work.
Purantatameri did have it earlier though, Ricky, which ended up bumping into the Saints' hands there. But this is, I guess, just that we talk about it often when you're not using the most of those opportunities. We've seen the Tiwi Bombers have had at least 2 inside 50 entries with only the 2 behinds on the scoreboard. Saints now with that 1 goal to have the early lead.
Well done, Braxton Armat. I'll talk about it a bit, is hitting targets from contested football, and that's what he did in that occasion.
Whale Buxton too big in the middle. Down to Dion Munkara, finds his left boot, kicks that wide to Tipping Woody in front of Labastida at that right half forward, 55 metres out from goal on the boundary line. Tipping Woody kicks up towards the goal square. Who's he got? Darcy, the back of the pack. It's 0-0. It's Austin Wanamiri skippering the Tiwi Bombers tonight. And he repays the favour of Shannon Rioli from the goal square, slams it through. It's goal for goal at TIO Stadium. And Tiwi Bombers back in front by 2 points.
Just that new rule here, you'll see it here, but you are allowed to use your body these days to push them out of the way. And I see Austin, and that's what he's good at.
Aussie might have to call some of his ex-teammates in Melbourne, because he has sent that over the Michael Long Centre, and I would say overseas, interstate, wherever you want to take it, it's a long way from home right now.
St Mary's calling for a push, but I believe it was the right decision by the umpire. You're allowed to use your body, and if you go to the gym a lot and you're a lot stronger than the opposition, you should be allowed to use it. So, good work, Austin. Kicks Tiwi's first goal.
Smith back in the ruck. Braxton Armat took the last bounce. The whistle's gone. A hold. It's going to Tiwi's way. Ashton Hams comes up with it. Pokes the little left footer to the top of the centre half forward arc. Going through there was Jacob Long for St Mary's. Tiwi call for a holding the ball decision. Won't get it. So 50 metres out from the Bombers' goal, there'll be a ball up.
So Anthony Long playing his first game since round 1. Probably would have preferred to come through the div at 1. But there was a couple of late injuries at St Mary's on Thursday night and they brought him straight in. So.
Free kick to the Tiwi Bombers. There was an advantage paid, but immediately Jackson Geary laid a tackle. So it's coming back to Liam Whale Buxton. Didn't like him from 20 metres. What's he like from 55?
That's what Saints are just going to be paired off here. They need good ground coverage. If the ball comes to ground in this Tiwi forward line, they need to be good at ground level.
It's got a pretty good leg on it. It's going all the way to the line. The spoil on the line. It's still in the field of play. Tipping Woody charges onto it, but he sees it out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
Spoil by Liam Daly. Well done. Saved a certain goal there. So he had a crack at the big fella. Wasn't a bad kick.
Not bad for a ruckman.
So boundary throw in right forward pocket. Michael Long centre end. Leroy Larson up against Darcy. Back of the pack. Was there a hold there? Play on the call. Little give wasn't too bad. Came from Best. Comes to Tipping Woody. Quick snap on goal. Is away to the right for a behind only. So the Bombers missing a couple. They lead by 3 points. 1-3 to 1 straight. 7.5 gone first quarter.
Just a little bit of bee to the honey there, Saints. About 4 players went to the ball. They just able to Tiwi to flip it out to Adam Tipping Woody. And he usually puts those ones away.
Long again to bring the ball back into play. Has a bounce. It's another good rule that's been brought in across the country. Not a strong tackle though. Here's Tungatalam. Worm-burning pass. Quick snap from Puruntatameri. Doesn't quite have the accuracy or the distance, and it slapped through, and in fact across and out of bounds for a boundary throw in left forward pocket. Top again, aren't they, Rick?
Yeah, they're moving the ball well. They look like no concrete feet. They're moving pretty well.
Doesn't look like a 10-goal first quarter from round 3, but their nose is well and truly in front. Strong tackling. Jackson Geary now of Saints from defensive 50. Hacks it out towards the grandstand side of the ground. Charging hard, Paridi. Soccers off the ground. Keeps it in play. Gains 20 metres. First to it, Ryan Smith. He soccers off the ground. Looking for McFarlane. First to it is Jones. Handball to Whale. Buxton was good into Hams. He sidesteps and beats 2 St Mary's players. Sends it back to Roy Farmer on the boundary line. Goes defensively. Gives away about 10 metres. But Farmer had the space and he can set them up. Back down the grandstand wing. Big fly from behind from Darcy. Gets it at the second attempt. As always, wants to play on quickly. Gives to Cantilla. Back to Darcy. Throws it on the boot. Here's a chance again for the Bombers. Opportunity. Quick snap off the boot there was taken by Mullins. And he's got a teammate just 25 metres out from goal directly in front. And the Bombers are just attacking every opportunity. Owen Henry has the goal in his sights.
It's interesting, John O'Miles. As a junior, he was an absolute superstar junior for Southern Districts. He went down, played VFL for Coburg and Port Melbourne. First game for a couple of years, I reckon, back playing in Tiwi colours.
Owen Henry to extend the lead, and he's missed as well out to the right. So they're bombing some chances. Tiwi 1-4-10, St Mary's 1 straight 6, 10 minutes gone first quarter.
With a little bit more accuracy, we could actually be seeing a repeat of the two last time these two met with that 10-goal first quarter for the Bombers.
Saints are struggling just to clear it from this back half.
Manteep marks, bounced up, played on, kicks in towards the centre. Out comes McFarlane, 1 grab 2. And the superstar has it in the middle of TIO Stadium. And he kicks up towards half forward. Out on a long lead came Hill. Good presence. Brought the ball to ground. Came to Paredes. Wants to shrug Puruntatameri. Just did so. Back to Manteep. Some big name St Mary's players combining. Sends it into Leroy Larson. Has it spoiled away vigorously. In goes Wilson. Here comes Jason Puruntatameri with a couple of neat steps. Handball over his head. Only as far those Paredes. Oh, he could shrug 2 tackles in the end. Back to Hill. He's been pinged, has he, for holding the footy? He has. I thought he got rid of it. The umpire said you hung on to it for too long. And 2 Tiwi Bombers tackled him. And now it's a 50-metre penalty.
He's arguing with the umpire, I think. Just got to watch it, Saints here. This is where they've got to pair off and not allow the fast play. They've allowed him to get the dangerous side and they're away, Tiwi.
After Owen Henry, he received from Blake Puruntatameri. Long kick towards Best, who'll run into a vacant goal square. And there's the second Tiwi goal. So they're dominating. 11 minutes into the first quarter. They probably don't lead by as much as they should, but the margin is a handy 10 points, 2-4 to 1 straight.
St Mary's just did not defend dangerous side here. If we see it in the replay here, they just did. You've got to watch Tiwi's dangerous space. They just didn't defend it just there. They had to be on the other side of that player. They've had to come up and meet him, and they just did not defend dangerous space after that 50 metre. So, a bit stronger Saints in the body, I reckon. They're letting Tiwi push them away too easy in marking contests.
And Ricky, you touched on it before. The other problem is when they're trying to get it out of centre half back there, they're just there's a barrier there, isn't there?
Yeah. I think with Tiwi, you're better off playing behind, Tiwi's goal side of them than playing in front, because if they get you over the back, there's
away they go.
Gary Ablett Jr. is not going to be able to stop it. No.
Smith won the tap. But it's all Tiwi. Dion Munkara to right half forward. Clever nudge. Best got another shot on goal from 40 metres on the fly. Bangs it through. Best has 2 in 20 seconds. That was probably the best of them. The other one's just from the goal square.
Rob, I'm going to make a tally of best jokes tonight.
3-4 plays 1 straight. It's all Tiwi. 12 minutes in. 10 goals on the card, Ricky Nolan.
You'd hope not. But the biggest thing they've got to stop is contested marks. Here's another one. Just being able to push their opposition player out of the way. Now, this bloke's a quality player, quality metro footballer in Vermont, played VFL football for the Casey Scorpions in the VFL in 2014-15. He's a gun, don't get me wrong, but they've got to be stronger. They've got to bring the ball to ground. There's too many contested marks being taken in the forward line.
We see another 20-goal to 17 thriller that we saw in round 3.
You'd hope, wouldn't you?
Won again by Ryan Smith in the middle for the Saints. Swooping on his Tungatulum. Cheek after him. Tungatulum couldn't gather it, and Josh Cheek does pretty well and turns it over for St Mary's. He kicks up towards half forward. Jones comes out strongly though for the Tiwi Bombers off half back. Off to a teammate, up towards half forward. Leap from behind, comes to ground. Smith clears a path for Ben Rioli. Rioli ducked his head, well umpired. Monagatti comes in over the top, and the umpire says, I'll ball it up. But Rioli definitely ducked his head then, and the umpire said no. Play on the call.
So the Saints have thrown Ben Rioli behind the ball. I think Aidan Hill as well has also gone behind the footy who started forward. So a little bit of panic stations, a little bit in the St Mary's coach's box, and so they don't want another 10-goal quarter to sort what happened last time. So good proactive coaching.
Free kick to Adam Tipping-Woody. 80 metres out and a 50-metre penalty. That will bring him to about 25 metres out, 45-degree angle, and a chance for Tiwi's 4th goal at the 14-minute mark of the first quarter. Saints have just 1 goal on the board, and that was to their captain, Shannon Rioli, who's now having an argument with one of the umpires. And has he been sent off?
I reckon he has.
Was he? No, he's just been going towards the boundary line. Interesting. And now the umpire has called Tipping-Woody all the way back to 80 metres out. And he's going to Shannon Rioli. Well, we'll have to try and work out exactly what happened there, because I'm not sure. Shannon Rioli wins the free kick. So that'll slow the 10-goal momentum.
Sort of funny. I often used to say to the players, don't argue with the umpire, because I've never seen one of them change their mind in the history of the game. And I don't know if Shannon's won the first argument ever in the history of Australian rules football. I don't know what happened there.
What a historic day that would be.
So Monagatti has front spot. Braxton Armat from behind for St Mary's. Oh, beautiful pick up by Salmon. Off to Armat. Throws on the boot. Inside 50. Strong mark coming out by Parry, I think it is, who normally plays in defence. Has been thrown forward, held front spot, and that strong body. Former Pints player in Div 1.
Sort of funny with Parry. I really like this bloke. I reckon he has an absolute 100% crack. But Best got hold of him. They've made the change. He got hold of him, out-marking him twice, and he put him forward, and then he's out-marked his opponent. So,
to bring the margin back to 10 points. It's 3-4 to 1 straight. 15.5 minutes gone first quarter at TIO Stadium. Round 8, TIO NTFL season. Parry sets it high. Pretty good kick. It's got the carry. No, just short. A metre or so short. Picked up by Baxter Slater. Handball back to Paredes. Couldn't get the snap on it before he's taken down in a strong tackle. Baxter Slater fights on hard at ground level. Still in the contest. That big strong body wants to farm it out to a teammate. He's close to the boundary line. It goes out. And then he slung after the play had stopped, and he's still getting pushed around by some Tiwi players. Will he be a free kick? No, the umpire said just calm down, fellas. Boundary throw in. So some agitation in the right forward pocket for St Mary's.
I reckon a goal here to St Mary's would be the medicine. They just got to stop a bit of momentum. The best way to stop momentum in football is kick a goal.
Monagatti and Braxton Armat go at it again. Josh Cheek burrows his way through. Armat was taken off the contest without the footy. Richard Purantatameri was sweating on the ball as well. Still St Mary's hard at it at ground level. Paredes is the last one up with the footy. We'll have another ball up, 30 out from Saints' goal. Kicking to the airport end at TIO Stadium. 16.5 minutes gone first quarter. Tiwi by 16 points.
At ground level, Josh Cheek for Saints looks like the only person that wants the footy at ground level.
Matthew Cantilla, oh, not so good. Came to long, quick snap on goal. Across the face, it's hooking towards the forward pocket boundary. McFarlane was there. It goes out for a boundary throw in.
Jacob Long's another one started back. It's like they've chucked their back line to the forward line and their forward line to the back line. There's 3 defenders that have gone forward.
So left forward pocket for St Mary's.
I can't see Jack Geary out in the field as well. Very rarely would he come off in the first quarter.
McFarlane and Monagatti. Mantique grabbed the footy. He was taken down at a very strong tackle and holding the football. So free kick to the Tiwi Bombers. Close to the last line of defence. Monagatti it is. Thumping kick. Poor though. Ben Rioli stands in the middle of TIO Stadium and marks and will send St Mary's back into attack. Shannon Rioli front of the pack. From behind goes McFarlane. Couldn't take the mark. Neat stepping by Munkara. There's that left foot. Exquisite again. Finds Darcy on the chest 25 metres away.
Umpire's call and play on.
Darcy kicks to the wing. Owen Henry's been exciting. And Cheek, there's that man again, gets a fist in.
He started well, Josh Cheek. Feel a little bit sorry for Peter McFarlane. He is coming in rusty. They had a training injury. Jackson Calder, who's one of their big recruits that's moved up here this year, gun from the Mornington Peninsula League, had a mishap at training on Thursday night or Tuesday night and broke a hand. So Peter's had to come into the side to give a target.
So he's coming to lend a hand?
Yes, he has.
Off the ground goes Harley Purantatameri.
Fire tonight, Rob.
It's good to be back. Good to be back in the commentary box with you fellas. TIO Stadium, round 8, NTFL footy. Whale Buxton, clever, looking good one way and then slapped it over his head 20 metres, only as far as Wilson. Kick towards half forward for St Mary's. Jason Purantatameri, clever. Owen Henry. Well, in fact, it was his brother, Purantatameri, and that was Richard. Oh, poor kick, though. Turnover to Shannon Rioli. Centre half forward for St Mary's, 60 out from goal. With the 0 on his back, towards 0. Road safety awareness round of the NTFL.
Just now got numbers behind the footy, though.
Sideways to Paredes. Might have been opening here. Out comes Parry again. Just a fist in to spoil away. And the Bombers have numbers at ground level. Out in the Darcy direction. Got on by Anthony Wilson, got to it with pace, got taken down over the shoulder, wins a free kick.
St Mary's leading patterns were pretty good, actually. Shannon just had to get back, be ball ready, get back quicker, be ball ready, because the leading patterns were pretty good up forward, I thought. Wilson's
kick, Baxter, Slater, but in from the side, too tall. Chris Jones marks.
Fair grab that, wasn't it?
Left back pocket. Plays on pretty quickly. Right across the face, dangerous. Silvani Babui. And Jackson Geary back on the ground, Rick.
Yeah, so very rarely, he usually got a licence in the first quarter to do what he wants, rotation-wise. So yeah, he hasn't played for a few weeks. He's got nice yellow new boots, Jackson. His nickname is Crackers. Jackson Crackers Geary. Nice new yellow boots.
Some forward entries for Saints, but not able to capitalise. Oh, that's clever play. Well done by Leroy Larson. On the left, hooking for a great goal. Well played. Not really known for his snaps, more a leading sort of forward target, but he gets their second goal, margin back to 10 points.
Talent's not something that Leroy's short of. He's certainly got plenty of it, but yeah, very good on both sides of his body, and Saints needed that, and really they're only a goal and a half out of it. So
it's almost Tiwi-esque, the blind turn there and onto the left boot.
Kicked it, they needed it, Saints. So this is where they've probably got to lift a little bit, I reckon, just out of the middle. Josh Cheek not in there, but they do have their big guns. Geary, Paredes and Shannon Rioli. Two of them won club best and fairest, another one's won a Cheney medal.
Both coming off great wins last week. Saints downing the red-hot premiership favourites Nightcliff for their first loss of the season, and the Tiwi Bombers beating Southern Districts. Back inside the forward line for St Mary's. Trying to shrug the tackle. Didn't do so effectively. Another opportunity here. One way then the other. Manteet back to Jackson Geary. Here's a chance for Paredes. Can he get ball to boot? He can from 20 metres. 2 in. Oh, not quite 2 in 2 minutes. Thuds into the left-hand goal post for a behind. Saints are alive. 2-1-13. Tiwi 3-4-22. 21 gone first quarter.
Positive. It's positive. 2 shots within a minute. It's only a goal and a touch behind.
Which is the reverse of what we saw within the first 10 minutes. I think our necks were all crooked to the left of screen, and now all of a sudden all the players in the St Mary's forward 50.
Tipping Woody, right half back. Out of side. Front of the scoreboard. It's Jacob Long, Anthony I should say, coming charging out. Door opens for the Tiwi Bombers. Marked by Harley Purantatameri. Inside the centre square at right half forward. 65 from goal. Waves his teammates closer to goal. He wants a flyer. Back of the pack, Wanamiri. Charging out was Daly. And on the left boot for St Mary's, the long kick in the Paredes direction is a ripper. Gets to him on the bounce. Oh, the Tiwi Bombers came in pretty quickly. Soccering off the ground cleverly was Shannon Rioli to his own advantage. Bounced up nicely. Now to Leroy Larson at centre half forward. He's got a teammate sliding by. Another chance here for McFarlane. Couldn't quite get to him. And Tiwi Bombers bursting from full back finds the chest of Adam Tipping-Woody. He pokes a little kick on to Ashton Hams, shut down quickly but spins onto the left boot and then flares it out wide to Ross Tungatulum. Loping after him, Ryan Smith. Tungatulum had time to get it, took the mark, wants Wanamiri. One of his poorer efforts, and Liam Daly takes a wonderful mark.
Yeah, very well, Liam Daly then.
It's the one-hander in the end. And they're away down the outer side. No, they're not. Owen Henry, although he couldn't quite take the mark, and so Baxter Slater has the door open for him. Richard Purantatameri goes hard at the football. Salmon, he's taken in a strong tackle by Harley Purantatameri. Whale Buxton did well, got to Tungatulum, kicks towards half forward. The stretch from Darcy through his fingertips. He's got 3-4 St Mary's jumpers around him, slaps it to a teammate. He's taken in a strong tackle by Ben Rioli. Wonderful work by Rioli at half back, wins a free kick for St Mary's.
They've had to put Ben back behind the football. He's done well. He's stopped a couple of Tiwi goals.
There's the siren. Entertaining first quarter, and at quarter time it's the Tiwi Bombers 3-4-22, St Mary's 2-1-13.
Each year 43 people die,
and over 500 are seriously injured on our roads.
Every club,
every player,
every spectator has
or knows someone who has been affected by road trauma.
0 is more than just a number.
It's a goal. Achieving 0 deaths and serious injuries on the territory roads
is not a one-person job.
Like in footy, on the field we play hard,
but always have each other's backs.
On the road it's the same. We all have a part to play to get everyone home safely.
Today we are wearing the playing number 0 and yellow armbands with pride to honour those lives lost on our roads
and to raise awareness of road safety.
Remember, there's more to lose than just a game of footy.
Together,
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 together.
Our goal is 0.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel forever, yeah, feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
come in and see it.
Still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium where it's quarter time. St Mary's 2-1-13, trailing the Tiwi Bombers 3-4-22. Round 8 action. This is, of course, the towards zero round road safety. Of course, working towards 0 lives lost on Northern Territory roads. In the commentary box, Matt Hepworth, Ricky Nolan and Rob Cross. Gentlemen, we don't have the live stats in front of us, but if we did, I reckon inside 50s, it'd almost be about 50-50. The first 10 minutes, I felt our necks were twisted to the left, watching the Tiwi Bombers kick to the Michael Long end. And then the final 10 minutes of the quarter, it was all St Mary's way.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It was a game of two halves, but it's an entertaining game. Ball's moving freely. Not as highly scoring as the last game, but I'm enjoying this contest.
Both coming off good wins last week. St Mary's defeating Nightcliff, last year's premiers, and the Tiwi Bombers beating Southern District, Rick.
So yeah, I reckon Saints beaten Nightcliff. I don't reckon that anyone's beaten Nightcliff with the 3 Nichols medalists in there with Eilert, Wills and Folo for over 12 months. So I know it's been about a 12 game, but it was a very good win by St Mary's Footy Club.
Tackle strongly on Paredes.
Just on that, Ricky, I'm told that was the first time that Saints defeated Nightcliff since Cammy went across as well.
Yeah, since Cameron went across.
So thrown up again. Paredes has got busy as the game's gone on. Kicks it inside, attacking 50 for St Mary's. Now towards Jason Purantatameri on the left boot. Exquisite skills, hasn't he? Kicks both feet. And long towards the wing. Paredes shrugs the tackle again. Off to Geary. Geary has a bounce. He's got time for 2. Runs towards attacking 50. And that's a poor kick. Chopped off by Jones, who had a good first quarter. And he flares it out wide towards the right back pocket, where Jono Mullins takes the mark. Now Harley Purantatameri down the throat of Dion Munkara. Where's this left foot going to go? Pokes a little chip
on someone's chest like normal.
To Richard Purantatameri. He's had a good game. Out to Owen Henry. He's been terrific. To Austin Wanamiri. What movement by the Tiwi Bombers. To chest, to chest, to chest. And now tonight's skipper towards 0-0 there. Will shoot for goal from 50 metres, 45-degree angle, right forward pocket.
He's got his head on a swivel and he's looking around, but he's a lovely kick of the football, Austin. I don't reckon distance will be a problem for him.
The last one he did over on the other side, he was sent it about 50 out from the square.
So from 55, he goes the pass. Whale Buxton had made the lead. It comes off hands and smashed through for a rush behind. I think it was Anthony Long that spoiled that through. So another point to the Tiwi Bombers. Jackson Geary marks the kick in. Margin is 10 points. 3-5 plays 2-1. Opening minutes of the second quarter. TIO round 8 action of the NTFL season. St Mary's bring it around the outer side. Numbers favour the Tiwi Bombers. Leroy Larson goes after it. Squeezed out to Hams, though, of the Bombers. He looks for Harley Purantatameri, coming strongly the other way. It was Davies.
A chance, Saints, I just reckon, to control that last passage of play by foot. Teep was on a lead. They could have gone to him short. Instead they went with a bailout kick to Leroy Larson on a 2v1. Ball's come back and they've got to stop it. So just got to control the football by foot coming out of their defensive 50.
Left half forward outer side of TIO Stadium. Whistle goes, free kick to Ryan Smith against Whale Buxton. So St Mary's can relieve the pressure from right half back.
Just ask the umpires, let these big boys go at it. Just let it go.
Smith will go the defensive play and kick long down the outer wing. Oh, nice marking from the side. Chris Jones. A couple of St Mary's players around there. Could potentially have been a 50. They now get out of the area. One of those was Parry. Also Salmon. Went very short to Munkara. He goes by hand this time rather than the trusty left foot. Back to Jones. Inside attacking 50. Darcy did well in from the side. Wanted Harley Purantatameri. Handball didn't find its target. And the ball is cleared long towards half forward. Out comes McFarlane. Didn't try and complete it, but tapped it onto a teammate. It's knocked out of Long's hands. He fights on at ground level. And out of bounds is Rory Lehman.
A bit worried about my old friend Peter McFarlane. I saw him playing a Div 1 game about a month ago. I thought he looked a touch rusty. He hadn't played football for a while. And then he's been away with work, hasn't trained a lot. We're going to be better in the second half of the season. Just needs a few runs, a bit more training under his belt.
Alistair Darcy, handball in the Cantilla direction, had Cheek nipping at his heels. Whistle's blown, and it's going to be a free kick against Cantilla, I think, for a throw. So Cheek wins another kick.
A busy first quarter, Josh. This is going to be a great pass as well.
Centering kick to Davies, who can trot to 55. He can poke a pass towards full forward. Out comes McFarlane. Maybe there's that rustiness. Quick snap on goal. He's away to the left for a behind only.
Josh Cheek's foot skills, they're really good. And the other one is Tom Davies. I reckon he had a very quiet first quarter, and that's what they need. The Saints are up and about when he's running off half-back like he did just then.
Roy Farmer from fullback to Hams, who's been busy, as most hams are around Christmas time.
You're on fire, Rob, tonight. Absolute fire.
Someone give this man a medal.
To the boundary line it goes. The Tiwi Bombers maintain possession. High kick from Owen Henry. Long towards the scoreboard. Darcy gathers. Clever handball over the top. Tipping Woody could be away here. Has a bounce. Has two. Scythes his way. Has three. Watch out. Salmon's coming. He's taken to ground. Bounces back up from 40 metres. Adam Tipping Woody kicks a brilliant goal. Oh, right on the line. It was touched by Rioli. Well done, Ben Rioli. He got back there in the nick of time. But Tipping Woody had done everything to get the goal of the year. He's already got it in the bag. I think he kicked one, didn't he? Bouncing from half back at one stage. That was going to rival it, but well done, Ben Rioli. It's out towards half forward, and it's sent back inside attacking 50 by Whale Buxton onto the chest of Wanamiri. And Best at the top of the goal square. His Tiwi Bombers teammate points to the middle of the big sticks and says, have a shot because you're well within range.
Well, Buxton's had a good start. I watched him, I think it was last week against Tars. Tars have got a good young ruckman I like. Come through their under-18s, didn't come through the Thunder programs and that. And I thought he got on top of Whale Buxton, but he's been very influential tonight.
Wanamiri's got his second. So they've just missed thanks to Ben Rioli's heroics on the goal line, but Wanamiri brings up Tiwi's fourth goal and the margin is pushed out to 16 points. Entertaining game. Round 8 TIO footy action for NTFL season 19-20 and early stages second quarter handy lead to the Bombers.
Look a little bit more polished tonight, Tiwi. This is their strongest side of the year, I believe. And
probably Paddy Heenan. Maybe Cyril if he's going to play.
Another guy by the name of Cyril Rioli.
Who?
Yeah, I heard he pulled up pretty sore from the island, so I'm not quite sure what the reason is, but that's what I heard when he played a couple of weeks ago, so hopefully we see him playing again soon. He needs to play 6 games to qualify. 6 games. There's only 4 games on the island, so he can't just play games on the island. He needs to also play in Darwin if he's going to qualify.
Whale Buxton up against Braxton Armat. Whale Buxton won the tap. Kick comes out to Salmon. Play on called. Daly comes up from half back, cuts his way through a couple of Tiwi Bombers players, sends it inside attacking 50. Big leap from behind from Leroy Larson. Gathers it at ground level. Still might be a chance here. Fed out to Baxter Slater. Throws it on the boot. Paredes runs back with the flight. Has Jason Purantatameri for company. Goes through for a behind to St Mary's.
They've got to man up, Saints.
Jason Purantatameri bounces his way out of the goal square. Love that rule. The fullbacks can just take it away, and he burst away with his third bounce and clears defensive 50. Well chased down though and holding the footy. Just took a little too long to get rid of the footy, and it's speared in and chopped off by Jones. So that good work is turned over straight away, and the Bombers can reset from half back. Jones has been good tonight.
Real good. I watched him play earlier on in the year, and he's got a massive resume, Box Hill Premiership player, and I thought he was a bit average, but he has been very good tonight.
Lots of turnovers at the moment. He's coming back the Tiwi Bombers' way. Handball in the Alistair Darcy direction. He's having a good season, Darcy.
Got an overlap Tiwi here. Oh, well done, who's Salmon.
And so it comes back to Baxter Slater across half back for St Mary's. He was almost brought down by Mullins. Cross half back flank. Kick up towards the wing. It's all Tiwi at the moment. Tungatulum. He's going to get an awkward bounce. It's 3-on-1 Tiwi Bombers. Long slips over. Neat sidestep from Richard Purantatameri. Kicks up towards Monagatti. Handball to Tungatulum. 80 from goal on the boundary line. He wants Wanamiri. The push and shove. Aussie can't complete it. It spills off his hands. Comes to Best, who bangs through his third. 5 goals to Tiwi, and they lead by 20 points at the 8.5-minute mark of the second quarter.
Best, who's usually kicks bags for Tiwi when he plays. Looks like he's going to qualify for finals this year. I think this is his 3rd game, so he's nearly there. Rocco gets there, but he's a strong boy. And Austin here just using his strength. Provides a contest. Best in the right position. And kicks a sausage roll.
You touched on it before, Rob. It's not always clean, and there's been a lot of turnovers, but it's exciting footy, and it's what I think both these clubs are known for. I think we called a Tiwi game a couple of weeks ago, and just when they're on, and I've heard the term chaos ball used a bit in the AFL over the last couple of years. The Tiwi Bombers really seem to use that chaos ball well when it's loose and make something out of nothing, or Aussie certainly helped there before, to eventually get the goal.
St Mary's got to fix up the 6-6-6 rule. Just something with Tiwi tonight as well. Jack Monagatti and Whale Buxton. When's the last time they've had two? Like, they're 2 good ruckmen. I can't ever, probably in the history of their football club, I don't think they've ever played. They've got 2 good ruckmen in tonight.
Thrown up by umpire Peach. Wasn't a bad throw. Munkara, some holding going on.
He's got possession of the ball though. But
yeah, it's going against Manteet, and it's coming back to Dion Munkara.
Michael Manteet, first game back in St Mary's colours. Southport Premiership player. Actually won a best and fairest in that year. It was not last year, the year before that, for the Southport Footy Club in the NEFL.
Munkara kicks in the Wanamiri direction. Got rid of his opponent, Anthony Long. Best then throws Long to the ground, and Long didn't have possession, so should be a St Mary's free kick, and is. Anthony Long from the back pocket. Kicks down the outer side in front of the scoreboard. It's marked to Leroy Larson. It's a good game. Little one over the top. Finds Braxton Armat.
Just thinking with Saints here, if they put Menteet forward to help Peter McFarlane out, so Peter's just not the #1 target. So I know Menteet's more of a mid, but I've seen him go forward before. If they put both of them out of the goal square, so it's just not so one-dimensional a kick into Peter every time. Give it a go for 10 minutes, see if it works.
Jackson Geary on the bounce. Hams for company. Goes out of bounds on the outer side. It's a little lull in play just momentarily. 11 gone in the second quarter. Handy break to Tiwi of 21 points. Certainly not out of this game, St Mary's. Got the players to get back into it. Had a good first quarter. Braxton Armat up against Monagatti. Monagatti worked his way to the front. Hacked out of the air by Mullins towards the boundary. Labastida escorts it out.
See, Ashley Ham's in for his first game, I think, for Tiwi. He's moving up here after Christmas. He's going to work with Clontarf at Hallaberry Randall School. His boss will actually be St Mary's assistant coach Andrew Wills, the ex-Geelong and Fremantle champion. So that'll be a big pickup for Tiwi, having Ashley Hams based here in Darwin, working after Christmas.
Armat. Monagatti won it, reaching around. Hams, there he is, right on cue. Handball to Owen Henry. Beautiful kick. Running with a flight courageously. Darcy did everything but grab it. He had it a long time, but just spilled it at the last moment. And out it comes to Anthony Wilson, the racehorse for St Mary's. He kicks it up to the fellow ponytailed one in Jackson Geary. More dreadlock than Wilson. Kicks up towards half forward. Neat little push at the back there. Was handy. Parnell sweeps the handball. Shannon Rioli, set shot on goal. Won't miss that. He had no one around him. Had plenty of time. Had the poise. And from 40 metres drills the goal to bring the margin back to 15 points.
Just used the usable Kieran the Wiz Parnell. Instead of blazing away he had McFarlane up the field, and there was one of the one-on-one. He just held the footy. You can see here, he looks up. He could kick the one-on-ones, but just use the usable here, draw the bloke, and then use the spare. And Shannon Rioli, you give him that much space, he's going to do that to you every day of the week.
Gets his second.
Just can't pull away from them, Tiwi. They're playing better footy, but Saints are hanging in there like a junkyard dog. It's good. Good sign.
Second on the ladder, St Mary's, after their first ever wooden spoon last season. They've come back well. Smith wins the tap. Jackson Geary, wonky little handball. Well done, Smith. At ground level, fed it out to Shannon Rioli. They go forward again, and then a very strong mark to Paredes, 15 metres out directly in front. Got some help from McFarlane in the pack. And crashing bodies cleared a path for Paredes, who took the grab.
Paredes kicks his goal. I might talk about why I reckon Saints are under Anthony Villojo. I reckon they're right in the mix this year. I reckon there's two KPIs that they should be looking at, other clubs should be looking at.
And Paredes hits the post. One of those KPIs, maybe he's kicking goals.
That might be one of them.
3-4 plays 5-6. It's a 14-point ball game.
Maybe the Saint fans didn't want the explanation, Ricky.
That might have been the point. I thought Nathan wouldn't let me down.
I was ready. I wanted to know.
You can still have it if you like.
We'll get a grip.
Wait
if
for
Nathan, next time Nathan kicks a goal, I might talk about it.
Roy Farmer's kick out from full back.
That'll give him a lot of incentive, won't it?
Oh, Owen Henry, look at the pace. Oh, come on. 3 Saints after him. He kicks up towards half forward in the best direction. Pushes Davies out of the way. The 2 14s go at it. He was out of bounds then. Well pressured by Davies. Just got the kick away. And there'll be a boundary throw in about 5 metres around from the right behind post.
He uses his body well, doesn't he, Bess?
Full credit to Davies not to give up.
Yeah, but Davies, that's what I'm about to say. He's a no goose. He's one of the premier defenders in the comp, and he's just using his body very, very well.
Right forward pocket for Tiwi. I feel they need a bit of a steady here. They lead by 14 points, 15 minutes gone second quarter. It's a tight, tough match, nothing like the first one we saw in round 3. It was a real shootout in the first half in particular. Tiwi kicked 10 goals in the first quarter on that occasion. St Mary's came back with 9 of their own in the second as Owen Henry comes in and takes a strong mark, almost best on ground.
And Josh Salmon, he just had to put his body on the line for the club and bring that ball to ground then. Owen Henry, ex-Wanderers premiership player, absolutely killed St Mary's, I reckon, about 10 years ago in a grand final. Playing for Wanderers on a wing. He was unbelievable that day. Hasn't played a lot of footy since then, but it's good to see him playing again for Tiwi.
Gives it a good ride, but it's smashed through in the goal square by Ryan Smith for a behind. 5-7-37 Tiwi. St Mary's 3-4-22. 15.5 minutes gone, second quarter.
Ain't moving the ball real smooth, Saints. If they can start doing that, I reckon they'll start to really get into this football game. Here's where Leroy's getting the ball here. They're just struggling this next evolution. That's what I'm saying about Mantique, where the Mantique goes forward. So they've just got no one to kick to now, especially when Leroy's getting balls in the back pocket.
Paredes.
They're breaking down here.
Had Cheek, received from Braxton Armat. Back to Cheek, and then he's had his kick chopped down. Roy Farmer stands in the tackle. Handball back to Jason Purantatameri. The running man had one bounce and then bangs it up towards his brother Harley Purantatameri, who marks. He bounces and pokes a little kick over the top to Alistair Darcy. Off to Dion Munkara on the left boot. Really, very mistake. Didn't find a target. Directly on the chest at least. Baird came through. He didn't take the mark. And Davies can grab it for St Mary's and they're away. So a rare mistake from Dion Munkara. He got it to his teammate on the bounce. But normally finds their chest and an opportunity for St Mary's to clear, but there's a bit of a wall across the wing now, and the Tiwi Bombers can send it back in the Baird direction. Labastida battles hard at ground level. Ben Rioli, clever by Baird, fed it out. Handball now comes to Dion Munkara on the left boot, sets sail at goal and bangs it through from 25. Well, it was hard work, but in the end, if you ever want the ball in someone's hand inside 50, it's going to be Dion Munkara, and the margin is extended to 21 points.
I reckon St Mary's coaching staff were awesome in the first quarter to restructure straight away when the warning bells were there, and I reckon they've got to go to restructure. They've got to now go to Plan C and restructure the half forward / full forward line. It's just Leroy's getting too much ball up the field. They need someone across half forward. Peter McFarlane's too obvious of a choice at the moment. I don't know if it's Mantique goes forward to help out McFarlane. They just need a few more options across half forward and a few more options in the forward line, so I'd be looking at restructure number 2 at the moment.
Pretty good handball from Best, wasn't it? Out to Munkara.
Yeah, he's on fire.
21-point lead, 18 minutes gone, second quarter. Got the air, it's not even Christmas. It's got the feel of a finals game. Tungatulum bounces his way to 55. Ross Tungatulum for 2 goals in 15 seconds is well away to the right for a behind only. So Jacob Long will bring the ball back into play.
Not much out here. Ryan Smith will be in a 1v4 if it doesn't hit him, but that's a beautiful kick.
Well, it's knocked away. Didn't grab it cleanly. Had the chance to clunk it. And the ball comes back and hits Wanamiri on the chest. So crucial turnover deep in the second quarter. Another Bombers goal here and a 28-point lead. Be very handy going into halftime.
That's where Jacob Long, who I reckon is going to be real good in that position of kicking out from fullback, just got to open the eyes, see what's up there. You know, if Ryan had taken it, they were away. But if it didn't work, they were going to get hurt the other way. And Austin's been kicking pretty well for goals today, so we'll see how he goes with this one from about 45. The ex-Melbourne Demon.
For his third goal of the night. Jake Best has 3 as well. Austin Wanamiri matches that. No, he doesn't. It's away to the right. And the margin goes to 23 points, 6-9 to 3-4. Quickly back into play. To Leroy Larson's chest, or is it Mantique?
Mantique, the ex-Collingwood listed player.
And his kick is out towards the boundary, looking for Jackson Geary. It'll be a boundary throw-in.
19 minutes gone in the second quarter. You're watching Aboriginal TV Channel 4's coverage of the TIO NTFL season, where St Mary's are 3-4-22, trailing the Tiwi Bombers 6-9-45.
Whale Buxton up against Ryan Smith. 60 out from the Bombers' goal at right half forward. Oh, high tackle there on Mantique. Goes against Whale Buxton. Michael Mantique wastes no time. He's got a man on in Leroy Larson. Has to stretch in the middle. He goes pretty hard at ground level though. Almost got to it, but Roy Farmer stood in his way and he hacks it up towards half forward, and John O'Mullins gallops out towards it. Benrioli comes at him hard, and another courageous act. Strong defence from Benrioli, much smaller man, but he wins the day. Comes up there to Armat, comes to Geary, comes to Shannon Rioli. St Mary's through the middle. Champagne footy by the Saints, up towards McFarlane. Misread it, ran under the footy. Out towards the boundary line. Watch out, you're being chased hard. Quick kick on goal by St Mary's. It was almost an unbelievable one.
Anthony Wilson, three-time Norwood Premiership player, really kicked a ripper.
Bombers bring it back into play out towards the left back pocket. And Jones takes the mark. Comes in towards centre half back, so they switch it out in the Richard Puruntatameri area. In front of the Michael Long centre. Oh, he wants Wale Buxton one-on-one. Brave kick, well spoiled away by Braxton Armat. Parry lurks, tries to funnel it through his legs. Jones there. I think it might have been Lehman for the Bombers. Jackson Geary waits over the pack at centre half forward.
He said brave kick. It was one of the most courageous kicks. I just don't see why you wouldn't go down the line. You go into a 45 kick where that ball got to Braxton, did a good job, turned the footy over. They just needed to hurt him there, the Saints. But extremely courageous kick, Rob.
He's backing his big man, wasn't he? And Armat did superbly well. Now, free kick is going to Wale Buxton. This will relieve the pressure a bit. Labastida guarding Munkara very carefully. So backwards it goes to Lehman. Lehman out to Hams. So these bigger body Tiwi players combining. They're just playing for half time, you sense at the moment. Comes back to Baird. Now it's still in defensive 50 at the Michael Long centre. End of TIO Stadium. Jeffrey Simon's been quiet. You've been impressed by him this year.
Yeah, he's been terrific. He has been a bit quiet today.
Baird goes forward and offers a kick, offers a lead 20 metres down the field. Sends it into Harley Puruntatameri. So maybe it's a slow build and the fast release. Kicks up towards the Montegaddi region. He ran under the footy. Benrioli grabs it and goes to ground. Taken in a strong best tackle. Comes to Tipping Woody. Bounces up. Taken down. Free kick. Play on the call. Still battling along is Benrioli. Brilliant play. Comes to Geary. He has a bounce and a standing start. About to be run down by Mullins. Kicks towards half forward. Jason Puruntatameri. Whistle's gone. And it's got to come back to...
St Mary's down the field. I reckon it's against Tiwi.
No, it's coming to a Tiwi player. I think it's centre half forward.
Someone got sucked in.
Someone got thrown to the ground. Was it Wale Buxton or Best?
Best looks like he's going to get the ball against. I'm not quite sure who the player was against, but a bit went on behind the plate, and the umpire saw it. And the unfortunate thing for St Mary's is this bloke's got the footy, who's normally a very good kicker of the football.
Lining up for 4 goals. So from a chance for St Mary's to bring the margin back within 3 goals, they could be facing a 28-point deficit at half-time. Best has 4, and that will hurt. And he gets in the face of Tom Davies. Munkara has a few words as well. Davies won't appreciate that. But that's a costly goal against St Mary's, and maybe some ill discipline has cost them. Tiwi to 7-9-51, Saints 3-5-23, Best with 4.
Yeah, Best, he kicked 91 goals for Leongatha in 2015, so he knows how to kick a bag, and he plays for Vermont in the Eastern Footy League, an absolute powerhouse there. Won a premiership with them last year, but he's if he's going to qualify finals, it looks like they're getting there. They've got a ruckman, they've got a full forward, they've got 2 ruckmen actually, because Montegaddi lives up here, so he didn't qualify for the finals last year, so that's starting to look a little bit damaging, Tiwi.
Paddy Heenan, Nathan Jakura, and maybe Cyril. Pretty handy ends.
Especially the last one.
Away goes Shannon Rioli and thumps it on the half-time siren from the centre square. The score won't count. It's a big lead to the Tiwi Bombers at half-time. Tiwi 7-9-51, St Mary's 3-5-23.
Each year, 43 people die.
And over 500 are seriously injured on our roads.
Every club,
every player,
every spectator has
or knows someone who has been affected by road trauma.
0 is more than just a number.
It's a goal.
Achieving 0 deaths and serious injuries on the Territory roads
is not a one-person job. Like in footy, on the field we play hard.
But always have each other's backs.
On the road it's the same. We all have a part to play to get everyone home safely.
Today we are wearing the playing number 0 and yellow armbands with pride to honour those lives lost on our roads
and to raise awareness of road safety.
Remember, there's more to lose than just a game of footy.
Together.
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 Our goal is 0.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Absolutely 0.
0.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be 0.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks. I don't know.
It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Looking for the best and brightest to join your team? At Quality People, we specialise in finding quality, hard-to-get professionals, and we have an office right here in Darwin. Kick your recruitment goals with Quality People. qualitypeople.com.au.
Now that's quality.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
On Territory roads, anything can happen, so you need to drive real careful. Dirt roads can be dusty, making it hard to see. Or they can be slippery and you can lose control. When you're not driving on dirt, slow down, will ya? Drive to the conditions and arrive in good condition.
The NTFL clubs and umpires would like to share the following events and messages and thank their sponsors.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
You go home and get your scannies, I'll go home and get my panties, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffalo, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh.
Wedding or birthday is coming up? Maybe a get-together with friends and family. Waratah Clubhouse at Gardens Oval is the perfect venue for your next community function. Celebrating the home to one of Darwin's iconic football clubs, Waratah Clubhouse.
Students from Mindarie School in Central Australia and Niu Community Daly River travel to Darwin to participate in the Michael Long Learning Leadership Centre Employment Pathways program. Here's a rundown of what they got up to.
We spent the afternoon learning from rangers who are leaders in our community who look after our country. On our second day, we explored employment pathway at CDU.
At CDU, we learned about careers in health and learned new skills on how to care for sick patients.
On Thursday, we will be participating in work experience at AFLNT. Today, we prepared for this by writing a CV and cover letters. We experienced an interview and had to explain why we wanted the job.
We got up so early today to go to Northforce. We did fitness training, learned about jobs in Northforce, and got to view lots of equipment.
In the afternoon, we visited Aboriginal broadcasting. Some of us got to go on radio, others made TV commercials.
Today we got to work at the AFLNTs. The choices were reception, media, maintenance and game development. And one group had the chance to work with Karen Sheldon Catering.
We are learning about tourism and hospitality at school. This morning we saw all the jobs available in a hotel and visited Crocodiles Cove. The crocodiles were awesome and they were heaps of people with cool jobs here too.
The thing I liked most about this week was everything.
Teaching other kids.
The Crocodiles Cove catering.
Game development because we went to Marara and teach the kids how to play footy.
Training. I like playing games with the kids and teaching them things.
Going to Northforce and looking at their cool equipments.
For more information, please visit the relevant club or umpire's Facebook page.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium, where it's half-time in round 8 of the TIO NTFL Men's Premier League. Saints and the Tiwi Bombers, and St Mary's 3-5-23, trailing the Tiwi Bombers 7-9-51. Matt Hepworth, Rob Cross and Ricky Nolan in the commentary box. Gentlemen, at times it's been an exciting game of football, but quite scrappy at times as well, Ricky.
Yeah, not too bad. Ball's moving up and down, so looks like might be a bit of rain heading this way, so this advantage to Tiwi might be a bit. Just see Saints have restructured. Manteet starting forward, Peter McFarlane going out to centre forward, Leroy Larson going to full forward. So restructured slightly St Mary's. Let's see how they go in the second half. Rob.
We've had reports of lightning at the airport, which isn't far from TIO Stadium, and if we hear 5 honks of the siren, all the players and officials will come from the ground. If they can't resume after, if they can't resume after 20 minutes, the team who's leading on the scoreboard at the time, because it's after half time, will win the game.
Do you know that Darwin Airport's the most lightning-struck place in the world?
Welcome to Darwin, folks.
Just so we've got handy staff out there, Rick Nolan.
Very handy.
Good people, I hear.
Elite, I've heard.
Yeah, elite. There's Owen Henry. No, in fact, it's Richard Purantanameri marks at half-back. It's a busy game. Pokes it out wide. And Lehman marks. Goes into Hams, who's been good. Oh, on the bounce, a bit tricky. Oh, it's about to be run down by Shannon Rioli. Well done, Rioli. Caden McFarlane to Geary. Some big St Mary's names there in transition. Up towards Paridi, spills the chest mark and goes out of bounds.
Paridi's another one started forward, so they've certainly restructured, which is good. Ashley Holmes, ex-South Fremantle 200-game champion, 2 times premiership player, and was also best on ground in the 2018 or 19, it might have been premiership. No, 2016, I think it was.
Great tap by Ryan Smith. Hams laid a strong tackle on Geary, though. Slowed the progress of St Mary's. Cantilla was good. Gave to Harley Purantanameri. Harley Purantanameri in the Tungatulum slipped over. Don't see that too often. And Ben Rioli, who's had a terrific game, soccers off the ground, almost in danger. It has been paid in danger. So having been hacked all the way up inside attacking 50 for St Mary's, it will be a Cantilla free kick back in the middle for the Tiwi Bombers.
This was one, Ben. I've never seen an umpire change his mind, and as we talk, he's had to... Whether the umpire's right or wrong, unfortunately you have to shut your mouth because there's 50 metres. I've never seen a player win. I might have saw Shannon before, it might have been a fluke, but they never win, so just had to close your mouth, Ben, whether you thought it was right or whether it was wrong.
Was it because Rioli and Cantilla both got wrapped up in the end there?
Yeah, it was kicking in danger was the rule. Ben thought it wasn't, the umpire thought it was, and guess who's always right?
Cantilla's a pretty straight kick normally. From 45 metres out directly in front, Matthew Cantilla kicks on goal. Will it have the carry though? It might just have the carry. No, touch right on the line. Well played by the St Mary's defence, so behind only.
Touch from here. Cantilla just leant back on the footy. That's why it only went about 30 metres.
Anthony Wilson to bring it back into play for St Mary's. Wind howling now towards the Michael Long centre end of the ground. Well done, Richard Purantanameri. Handball over the top. Harley Purantanameri played for the high free kick and wins it.
Weather-wise, you just feel something horrific is just about to hit this stadium.
The worm-burning pass to Hams, the sidestep, the pokey little kick on the bounce to Best. It's really swirling around TIO Stadium now. Hams gathers. He's crunched in a tackle at centre half forward and was taken high. Free kick to Hams. Best wants to receive the handball. Is ignored.
They need Best in the goal square. Don't worry about receiving handballs.
Hams short pass in towards the pocket. Bounce off the chest of Tungatulum. And Shannon Rioli kicks it out of bounds on the full at left half forward. Tiwi can go back into attack.
Tungatulum's looked dangerous though. I just reckon he's one of his better games for the season. Rob?
Yeah, he's been good.
That's John Mullins, I think.
Yep. Kicks to Whale Buxton over the top. Smith. Ben Rioli superb again. Hard at the football. Gathered it cleanly. They team well from half back. excuse me, Liam Daly in the McFarlane direction. Paredes to Jackson Geary. Here go the Saints. Shannon Rioli steps back inside on the wing, kicks towards half forward, won't have the carry. Jason Puruntatameri stands in the way and marks at half back, and on the left boot kicks towards the wing and hits Hams between the eyes.
Just had to go to space there, Shannon. They had Anthony Rabs-Wilson, one of the fastest footballers in Australia, just had to kick it to space and see if he could have outburnt them.
And there's the wind carrying that all the way out to about row 6 of the grandstand.
Looking at the scoreboard now, and those the flags are going directly towards the grandstand, so the ball might be played on this side of the oval a fair bit.
I'm tipping we won't be able to see soon, Rick, because one of them was plastered on the glass. They'll be ripped off the poles. It is really blowing here at TIO Stadium. Davies' kick, the stretch from Labastida. Simon was taken in a strong tackle and won't be able to get rid of the footy. Ball up.
I tell you, gentlemen, I'm hitting refresh on the Weather Bureau's stats every 5 seconds to just see what some of these wind gusts are coming in at the moment.
Larson went up in ruck. Whistle goes. Whale Buxton came over the top. It's going to be a Whale Buxton free kick.
The umpire was saying that Leroy wasn't allowed to contest that because Ryan was the ruckman, is what I believe the decision may have been.
Call to play on.
Man the mark well there, Ryan, excellent.
Hams out to Dale Munkara. Out to Mullins. To Munkara, was clever, the 1-2. Munkara's kick. Where's Austin Wanamiri? Caught from behind. Tap down to Manteet. Kick is squeezed back towards centre half forward for the Tiwi Bombers zone. Whale Buxton marks, pokes it in the best direction. Look at that ball get carried on the breeze sideways. I think it bounced just inside for a boundary throw, and that's extraordinary.
See everyone in the grandstand making their way to the back, because I think they can see what
being
may be
blown
coming.
to the back or making their way.
Get out the umbrella.
And the boundary umpire just threw up a little bit of grass just to test whether she's going to be able to throw it in. She's probably better getting on the other side of the pack, I think. And in it comes. That's a great effort.
Good effort, isn't it?
Excellent throw. Ryan Smith. There's a bit of lightning, I think, just out of the corner of my eye. Big tackle there laid by Cheek. Hacked out of mid-air by Jeffrey Simon. In towards the forward pocket. Parnell waits for the ball to come out for St Mary's. It's not going to. And there's going to be another ball up.
Free kick too high. Kick will go to Michael Manteet.
It's Mullins' last one to pick himself up for the Tiwi Bombers.
First signs of rain coming in at TIO Stadium as we speak.
Manteet's kick holds up in the breeze. Front position, Chris Jones. I've had a bit of a jumper tug there. Paredes' kick in the Shannon Rioli direction. Love a goal here, but it's only as far as Roy Farmer. Back to Jason Puruntatameri. Quick with the hands. Chopped off though by Long, was excellent. Kicks up towards Salmon. Goes out of bounds on the full. Again, that breeze just carrying across the ground.
Umpire's called it that it hit just before, so it'll be a throw in the St Mary's 50. There's another test for the boundary umpires. Come in a bit, mate.
That's a good result for St Mary's. Boundary throw in. 50 from goal. They trail by 29 points.
That's a great effort.
Well done by Whale Buxton. Back towards the boundary line. Alistair Darcy off the side of the boot, keeps it in the field of play. Spilling forward there to try and take the mark was Tyler Saunders. Well, this is better. Manteet could have gone inboard to Baxter Slater, but instead kicks towards the half-forward flank, and a juggling mark, not paid. Off hands at the last moment. Oh no, he has paid it.
It's a fair grab, that.
That's Rodney Baird.
I think if you can attack from the other side, it's going to be easier to kick a goal.
Richard Puruntatameri offers a lead and marks inside defensive 50. Kicks towards centre half back to Harley Puruntatameri. Look at Owen Henry go. Dashes away. He was ignored. And so Harley Puruntatameri has to go all the way back. Mark spilled by Sylvania Babui. Opportunity here. Farm it out to McFarlane. Give him a shot. Leroy Larson comes in to lay a tackle. It's squeezed out towards Harley Puruntatameri. Charging through was Parnell. Handball off the ground. Leroy Larson had his handball chopped down. Desperate defence by the Tiwi Bombers. In fact, it was Manteet. Continue to get those two mixed up. Manteet was the player involved for St Mary's at centre half forward. There'll be a ball up 40 metres out directly in front. Conditions turning very tricky here at TIO Stadium. Tough, tight contest. No goals so far in the third quarter, and we've played nearly 10 minutes. 8 minutes 40 to be precise. Away goes Purantatameri, has a bounce. This is Blake Purantatameri. Then low pass was excellent onto the chest of Wanamiri, and Austin Wanamiri can go back directly in front to line up for his third.
Just two players, I reckon. Richard Purantatameri and also Harley Purantatameri haven't played a lot for Tiwi in the past. They've preferred to play football on the island, but I was talking to their coach, Tipper Manamuri, before the game, and that Shangalang was saying that they chased them pretty hard. They've got a lot of talent, but never really wanted to play at that level. But they've done good pre-seasons, and they're playing well today.
And Wanamiri's kicking beautifully. Tough breeze to kick against, or they're kicking with it, but it's a swirling sort of breeze and largely across the ground. And he's drilled his third goal, and the margin out to a very tricky 35 points for St Mary's to peg back.
I think the key, if you're taking anything out, is you've got to, if you can, attack through the middle of the field or from the scoreboard side. You see here talking Blake Purantatameri, they've always known he's had a lot of talent. Hasn't really wanted to play for the Tiwis. He'd rather play on the island for his club side on the Tiwi Islands. But big pre-season, I've heard. And, he's played a good game.
First goal of the third quarter for either team.
Rain's coming now.
Thankfully, no lightning yet.
Viewers down south, us Territorians, when you're sitting on a balcony, you enjoy watching it, but when you're not at home, it can be a little bit scary.
A little flash out of the Michael Long centre end. Matty, Tungatalam out of the middle. Hacks it forward. Dion Mankara, first to the footy, controls it, keeps going, overruns it. Here goes Anthony Wilson for St Mary's. Had one bounce, considered a second, gave to Jackson Geary, back to Wilson, runs to centre half forward. Oh, well chopped down by Roy Farmer. Kicks towards half forward. Whale Buxton leads in the race for the footy. Aiden Hill, strong body, bumps him away from the ball, swoops on it, gathers. Oh, well chopped down. Here he is again. Blake Purantatameri bounces with a slippery ball. Kick it, goal! He kicks it out of bounds on the full. The breeze just pushing it away. It was always going to miss. But in the end, it was just astray even further with that very strong breeze pushing across the ground.
First time they've tried to switch Saints. We'll see how this goes. Geary has got a country mile if they can get it to him on the wing. Michael
Manteet will drive the ball against the breeze and finds him on the chest. But Harley Purantatameri has glided across to close him down, sends it into Henry Labastida. Shannon Rioli over the top. In fact, Jackson Geary gets there first. Tungatalam bumps him off the footy, gets the kick away in the Leroy Larson direction. Numbers favour the Tiwi Bombers. Richard Purantatameri. Oh, he bounced it and was tackled. Cheek will win the free kick. Oh, Pater holding the ball. Gee whiz. Oh, it could have gone either way. I guess maybe play on was the best call. And I think the umpire took a long time to make that call because I think the whistle had slipped in the greasy conditions.
Just got a man up here saying so. This is when we were arguing with the umpire, and then there's free players.
So for full back, oh, Jones has turned it over. Here's a chance. Inboard to Geary.
Distance may be too much there.
The breeze has swung around a bit, it seems now. Rick, it now seems to be favouring the airport.
Flags have done a full 180, yep.
So they might get the carry.
Interesting with these conditions, Jack Geary, he lives in Bendigo, but has been a fly-in for about 5 years. He's a massive historian of Cyclone Tracy. Every time he comes to Darwin, he goes to the museum to look at the Cyclone Tracy memorial. So he'll be interested in this weather.
Kicks on the wind. It's a thumping ball by Geary. Great goal. And maybe they haven't given up on this game. 13 minutes gone in the third quarter. St Mary's get their fourth and the margin back to 29 points. 4-5 plays 8-10.
That's a great kick. I didn't think he'd have the distance, but with this breeze, as I said, he loves studying about Cyclone Tracy and has got a lot of admiration for anyone that was involved, the locals that were involved in the Cyclone Tracy saga. So maybe this is inspired in this weather.
No Cyclone Tracy, but a quick update on some of those wind gusts that we've seen within the last 15 minutes. Darwin Airport, which is literally about a kilometre away from us, recording wind gusts of anywhere between 46 and 56 kilometres an hour. So that is going to have a big impact on this game. We saw it going to the left of screen initially towards the Michael Long Centre, but just as Saints got it in there 50, turned completely the other way towards the airport end.
The wind's changed again. It's changed 3 times in the last minute.
Hams has been good. Out to Mankara, lovely handball out to Cantilla. His kick out towards half forward. Best just dropped at the last moment. Good pressure came from Parnell, and Parnell goes again. Forces the error. Clever bouncing underground kick came from Paredes to Salmon. And Salmon slips away and kicks up towards half forward. He had McFarlane, who lays a strong tackle out on Mullins, and it's going to be a ball up.
I think both sides have to attack this way. It's going to be the only way you can kick a goal. I think skills aren't pretty good, really, in the conditions.
Absolutely, it's a terrific game. Manteet, Tiwi Bombers player, played for it, and now holding the footy. I reckon that's pretty good umpiring.
I love that. I absolutely love it. Very good umpiring.
Tyler Sanders, is it?
Braxton
Armat, and he kicks up towards full forward. Leroy Larson, Rodney Baird. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle from Geary. Well done by Larson to Paredes. Has he got another goal? He's kicked it out of bounds on the full.
I thought he might have wanted to hear my theory on St Mary's, but obviously doesn't.
We've been waiting a long time for that, Ricky.
I'm going to talk about it unless Paredes kicks a goal.
I can see him kicking a goal after the siren to win the game. I'm sorry, we've got to go, folks. Stay tuned next week.
The ultimate tease.
Richard Purantatameri to bring the ball back into play for the Tiwi Bombers. Right back pocket favours the outer side. A huge fly from Liam Whale Buxton.
It's been big tonight, very big.
His performance on the field hasn't been bad either.
Monagatti has the ball spoiled away. Good tackling at ground level. Tiwi Bombers get it up towards right half forward, about 60 metres from their goal. Tom Davies sees it out for St Mary's.
Who'd say is bigger, Liam Whale Buxton or Seb Gilhouse?
Yeah.
Seb Gilhouse was a unit.
Gilhouse is a unit. Yeah. You're in the perfect position to kick a goal here, Tiwi. I reckon it's if you're going to score one, you're in a perfect spot with a bit of surge football.
Braxton Armat at least provides a contest, but Whale Buxton with a bigger body wins it down. And as far as Shannon Rioli comes to Tom Davies. Thumps the kick up towards half forward. Sylvania Babui waits under it, drops the mark. Roy Farmer. Shannon Rioli sweats on both of them. Babui doesn't go to ground, taps it along in front. Shannon Rioli still going, plays it to himself, then taps it through his legs looking for Geary. He taps it back onto Shannon Rioli. Rioli bumps into Geary. Handball now to Geary. Geary handball excellent to Cheek. Kick a goal, Josh Cheek. Centres it instead. Looking there for Baxter Slater. Running onto a Paredes. Went without the footy. This could be the story from Ricky Nolan. Paredes sweats over the top. Is it a free kick? He's held it in. It's going to be a ball up in the left forward pocket.
Well done to Shannon Rioli there, 3v2, kept his feet the whole time. Just a bit of a famous moment in the down the Michael Long Centre when Shannon kicked the famous goal against Thomas Motlop, kept his feet. And here's Nathan, he wants to know about it? No.
Another behind across the face. They are lifting St Mary's, 4-6-30, 18 and a half minutes gone, 16 and a half minutes gone in the third quarter.
Still 4.5 behind, they need to kick one.
8-10, 58 Tiwi Bombers.
Or two. Before three-quarter time.
Dion Moncara does the kicking in close to the boundary line. Monagatti is spoiled away by Shannon Rioli. Not Shannon Rioli, that is Tyler Saunders.
Tyler Saunders. First game back for St Mary's, ex-Glenelg footballer. Some groin issues. Hopefully he's over them and ready for a big year for Saints.
Monagatti against Braxton Armat. Monagatti with a big fist towards the boundary line. Manteet beaten to it by Tipping Woody, who then couldn't keep it in, out of bounds.
Been serviceable, Michael Manteet, ex-Collingwood, Sydney University. He's a Southport Premiership player and also, as I said before, one of best and fairest in the Premiership year, but I reckon he's had a good game.
Between wing and half forward for St Mary's, grandstand side of TIO Stadium, boundary throw in. Pushing and shoving, and a free kick is going to go against Whale Buxton to Braxton Armat. Another chance maybe for St Mary's. The wind right across the ground at the moment. He sends it inside attacking 50. Under it was McFarlane. Comes to Jason Purantatameri, to Baird. Baxter Slater with his strong body. Had it and lost it. Came to Roy Farmer, who spirals a torpedo 65 metres. Bounces one, skids off the slippery wet turf and goes out of bounds at the interchange gate, or a little bit further than that for St Mary's. Almost at left half forward now for the Tiwi Bombers.
Peter McFarlane coming off for a spell. And Anthony Ravers-Wilson coming on.
That kick would have been hailed at the Japan World Cup recently. So another boundary throw in between wing and left half forward now for the Tiwi Bombers. They lead by 28 points, 18 and a half minutes gone. Rain has set in, very strong winds here. Adam Tipping Woody He'll send it inside attacking 50. He's got Best up against a couple. Oh, Monagatti grabs the bouncing footy and slams home a goal that will make it very hard for St Mary's to come back from. Closing in on three-quarter time here. And the Tiwi Bombers get their ninth and lead by 34 points.
I think Aidan Hilly just misjudged it, maybe with a little bit of the wind. He went to ground, and Monagatti kicked a good goal. Tiwi crowd are up and about.
Loving it, are
I reckon they've all moved under the microphone.
Well, 19 minutes gone in the third quarter. You're watching Aboriginal TV Channel 4's coverage of the TIO NTFL season. We're at St Mary's 4, 6:30. The Tiwi Bombers fans, they are loving this. 9-10-64.
See Aidan not keeping his feet in Monagatti, but well set up by Adam Tipperwoody. Good article in the Herald Sun during the week. Can we find another Waller? I think it was. And a lot of people pointing in the upcoming draft about Adam Tipperwoody and whether a club will take a chance on him in the draft, I think, in 2 weeks' time.
Whale Buxton, a whale of a game. Tyler Saunders, a couple of nice things in the last 5 minutes, and that just a lot of poise then, waited, delivered the handball. Parnell's kick to half forward, off the chest of Paredes to Jason Puruntatameri to Cantilla. Stabs the pass to Harley Puruntatameri over the top. The other helmeted player is Ben Rioli, and it goes out of bounds.
Played well, Ben Rioli. I think he's signed a contract with the South Fremantle Football Club, so he'll follow in his famous father's footsteps, Sibby Rioli, and his famous uncle, Maurice Rioli's footsteps. And he'll head to the South Fremantle Football Club next year, I'm led to believe.
Mullins hacks a kick on the left boot, inside attacking 50. Best did well to work his way to the front against Parnell, and then comes back on the contest and lays a strong tackle. Dion Munkara, handball to himself. Lots of green jumpers around him. Jacob Long, he's kicked back in the Mullins direction. He marks on his chest. He's got Jeffrey Simon wanting the footy behind him. Got called him Cantilla a moment ago, vice versa. And Best comes out. It's out of bounds on the full in the left forward pocket.
Used again.
Impossible to kick a goal from there. Just go to the top of the square.
Kieran Parnell.
High risk, high reward. Kieran, good work. If you're going to kick a goal, it'll be from here. So they need one, Saints.
Centering ball to Ben Rioli. Must be close to three-quarter time. What have we had so far? 2 goals to 1 this quarter. So pretty low scoring. Tiwi Bombers way. Out in the Salmon direction. Got Owen Henry for company. Salmon keeps it in front. They're all big flashes of lightning with that.
Scary. I'm a little bit scared up here.
That's right, Ricky. We'll look after you, mate.
This hasn't been the big downfall that we thought it would be. It hasn't been windy, but not so much rain.
Let me turn on the radar. It is literally pulling around TIO Stadium right now. The east of Darwin, is getting absolutely smashed, and TIO Stadium is about the only place on the radar that is not getting hit.
You smell it though, the moisture in the air as Baxter Slater hacks it out of the contest. Off the ground goes Richard Puruntatameri, hams. Rioli had about 4 to beat. Lots of red jumpers. Cantilla gets to it first. And pokes the kick into the chest of Adam Tippingwoody right on the three-quarter time siren as the green machine was swarming. No further chances for them to score in the third term. St Mary's 4-6-30, big job to do. Tiwi's 9-10-64.
Each year, 43 people die.
And over 500 are seriously injured on our roads.
Every club,
every player,
every spectator has
or knows someone who has been affected by road trauma.
0 is more than just a number.
It's a goal.
Achieving 0 deaths and serious injuries on the Territory roads
It's not a one-person job.
Like in footy, on the field we play hard.
But always have each other's backs.
On the road it's the same. We all have a part to play to get everyone home safely.
Today we are wearing the playing number 0 and yellow armbands with pride to honour those lives lost on our roads
and to raise awareness of road safety.
Remember, there's more to lose than just a game of footy.
Together, together, together,
together.
Our goal is 0.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel forever, yeah, feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
come in and see it.
Still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Welcome back to a wet and windy TIO Stadium with a quarter to go. St Mary's 4-6-30 trailing the Tiwi Bombers 9-10. 64 play underway, Rob Cross.
In the heavy rain now as Ross Tungatalam charges through. Can't quite keep it in front of him. Josh Cheek, who's been very good tonight, gives it backwards. Ball chopped down though by Adam Tippingwoody. Curls the kick around onto the chest of Austin Wanamiri, leading out in front as all good full forwards should do. And especially with a wet slippery ball, wrapped his arms around it and it wasn't going anywhere. Chance for his fourth.
Something I was going to say, if Saints are to win this game, they need to kick one or two very quickly. I reckon they'll go into a control type of game, but Austin Wanamiri has played very well. The ex-Melbourne Demon could nearly put this out of sight for St Mary's.
And he pushes it across the face, maybe trying to bring it back with a breeze. It did come back late, but he had it too far away from the big sticks.
They've got to attack this scoreboard side at all times, Saints.
Tom Davies to bring the ball back into play. The back pocket to Parry. With rain almost sideways. It's back to Tom Davies. And also himself.
Party trick.
Connor McKenna style. Through the grasp there of Wilson, but had time to gather and wheel away from Ashton Hams. More nimble on his feet than Hams. And finds the chest of Shannon Rioli. Almost up to right half forward, back inboard to Cheek. Oh, he controlled it beautifully, runs to 45. Josh Cheek kicks a wonderful goal. Just what St Mary's wanted. A minute and a half gone into the final term, and the margin back to 29 points, 5-6 to 9-11.
It was grouching and growling. What are you doing, Shannon? But it ended up working. They got a good bounce. Josh Cheek bodylined the footy and kicked a great goal. And I reckon Josh Cheek's probably been St Mary's best player tonight. And when I saw that, I thought, what are you doing? Get a deep entry, but it's worked well. And Cheeks put it through from about 49. It's had a good game.
Not bad when the wind's going against you at 54 kilometres an hour, heading in the exact opposite direction.
So I reckon they need the first two to win this game. So let's see if Saints can get the next one.
Cheek's gone into the middle.
Leroy Larson into the ruck.
Geary there to Larson. Now to Labastida. Tumbles one up towards centre half forward to the second attempt. Well, the mark wasn't paid. I think Babui almost did enough then to be paid the mark. Must have just hit the deck. And so we'll have a ball up. Two brothers umpiring tonight there. Rawsthorne brothers. Out comes Leroy Larson, out to Daly. Whistle's gone, and it's going to be a free kick to the Tiwi Bombers. I think Ashton Hams is going to pick it up. Patrick Rawsthorne and Matthew Rawsthorne.
I reckon Tiwi will consistently kick the football to this side of the ground.
Rodney Baird marks. Tyler Saunders jumping up and down on the mark. Good kick. Alistair Darcy hits him on the chest in front of Michael Mantit. Darcy kicks up towards half forward. Wale Buxton's got two to beat. And a good spoil over the top there came from Anthony Long.
In Northern Territory football, the clock doesn't stop now because of the hot weather conditions. So the clock's still running. So if Tiwi want to play this side of the ground all night for the rest of the night and just keep getting stoppages, it will suit them.
Oh, there's a big hit on Leroy Larson. It wasn't deliberate, but as Wale Buxton went to contest the ruck contest, his right arm was thrown backwards and it collected the jaw, I reckon, of Leroy Larson, who's just picking himself up from the ground. Labastida gets a free kick. Larson holding that jaw. As I say, it was just in the ruck contest. A pretty vigorous contest, but Ricky Nolan loves to see that with ruckman. That's how you play it, isn't it?
Let it go.
Bash into each other. High tackle there. And it's going to go against the Tiwi Bombers, and Nate Paredes comes up with the footy. As the rain comes tumbling down still. Lightning flashing around TIO Stadium. Paredes runs around Chris Jones, and then Paredes kicks it out of bounds on the full. No, he's going to pay touched. Geary flew for the mark off hands out of bounds.
It's like seeing Nathan go a little bit more direct to goal.
4 minutes gone. 29 points the difference. In these conditions, that is a huge lead. It's as good as 8 or 9 goals, I reckon. But you never know. It's a great club. They're second on the ladder. They beat the red-hot premiership favourites last week. Got some star players like this man, Shannon Rioli, the captain in 0 tonight, the towards 0 round for road safety. Chris Jones sweats on the footy to come to him. It does now. Hacks a kick out of defensive 50. Oh, Wale Buxton took the mark. It didn't travel 15. Back to Shannon Rioli from 55. Spears the kick in. Great spoil away there. It came from Lehman. Tyler Saunders will chop it out, though. He decides to play on from 40 metres. Another one to the Saints. Inside 5 minutes of the final quarter. Plenty of time remaining. They get their 6th goal. They're up to 6-6-42. The margin 23 points. The Bombers stuck on 9-11-65.
4-goal game. Good work by Shannon Rioli. I think next week or the week after that, the Riolis play their 1000th game for the St Mary's Footy Club. So it'll be a big occasion. And yeah, so Ben and Shannon, maybe Sebastian Rioli may also make an appearance in their 1000th game as well. So playing good footy in the Div 1 at the moment. So yeah, it's a great achievement by the Rioli family. And it will be a big occasion. Not sure if it's next week or the weekend after that.
23 points the margin. Wilson, clever by Tungatulum, just stuck at his arm, wrapped up the footy and spears the pass in the direction of Wanamiri on the left boot. High kick, hoping for the wind to bring it around. It won't have the distance. Lots of green jumpers at the top of the goal square, and they're happy to paddle it through for a rush behind. Parnell, the last one to see it over.
Quick, Kieran. Scoreboard.
9-12 plays 6-6. Margin is 4 straight goals. Out to Geary. Just 6 minutes gone last quarter.
I believe Jack Geary, Jared Waite and David Armitage are moving to Darwin for the next month, so they're going to have pretty strong side, Saints, for the next month.
Good contest in the middle. Shannon Rioli gave to Labastida. Geary soccers off the ground. Sylvania Babui for the Tiwi Bombers. Babui was worried out of it. And the Saints go forward again, up towards full forward, but standing in the way was Chris Jones. Ever reliable across half-back. Sends it out to Harley Purantatameri. Kick was just a bit too tall. Here's a race. Anthony Wilson gets to it first. Keeps it in. Well tackled by Purantatameri. Then he goes to ground. Wow. The tackle slips off. Comes back to Wilson. Lovely kick onto the chest of his teammate at half forward. And it's taken by Paredes. Jason Purantatameri guards the mark. Paredes again pokes it in towards the pocket, wanting a teammate. It's spoiled away. Paredes gathers the spoil though. About to be tackled. Brilliant diving smother by Jones. Only as far as Shannon Rioli. He's taken by Owen Henry in a tackle. And then Owen Henry mops up, throws the ball onto his boot. But just as far as Jacob Long, who can send the ball back into the middle of TIO Stadium. And to Kieran Parnell, who's got a man alone at centre half forward. He can run on Daly. No, he can't. Hams, his opposite number 16, stood the mark. And he's forced to go back 60 from goal. He pokes it out towards the right half forward flank. Wants a flyer, but in front, a lovely strong grab taken there by Liam Whale Buxton.
Best on ground, isn't he? Everyone agree or not?
Pretty close, yep. Had a few players start well, the likes of Owen Henry, but for full four-quarter effort, this man.
Tagatala's played one of his better games, I think, for the year as well.
Jason Purantatameri in the right back pocket. Kicks to Cantilla, who marks a wet ball pretty well. One grab, and then looks for Monagatti down the line. Monagatti has a couple of players come at him. He's thrown to ground by Tom Davies. And the ball goes out of bounds. Not Davies, that was Anthony Long.
Good to see, this is only Anthony Long's second game since a knee reconstruction happened the first 5 minutes of a grand final 3 years ago. He's a lovely kid. I just hope he gets a good run with injuries. He was on Essendon's list there for a while, but he's just has a few injuries. I just hope he has some luck. Very good footballer.
Good size.
Yeah. No, I thought, 3 years ago before he did his knee that year, he was just starting to, he was one of the best backmen in the comp that year, and then he hasn't played for 3 years. It's taken a while to get. He's on Essendon's list. He tore the hamstring off his bone twice, so he's had some horrific injuries.
Cheek is wrapped up in a strong tackle by Adam Tipping-Woody. Baxter Slater went hard at ground level. Harley Purantatameri played for the free kick. Baxter Slater now wrapped up in a strong tackle by Whale Buxton.
It's that one where I reckon the player has to get the ball out. It's his responsibility to get the ball to space.
Smith and Whale Buxton yet again. Smith did well, got rid of his opponent and then thumped at 20 metres just on the ground. Leroy Larson barges his way through, then his handball just slips off the palm as Hams came at him the other way. Geary fumbles the slippery ball he received from Baxter Slater. They've got numbers out wide here, Saints. Comes to Daly, can chip short, and he does, towards attacking 50 to Paredes. Here's our chat from Ricky Nolan. He kicks towards goal, and he kicks a goal! They're back in at St Mary's. 10 minutes gone, final quarter. They get their 7th. 7-6-48. Tiwi Bombers 9-12-66. An 18-point ball game. Now, Ricky Nolan, tell us what you've had for us for 2 quarters of this game.
I want to change it, though, because of the scoreboard. But I just reckon 2 good points for St Mary. Actually, 3 probably. One, going to districts with a pretty average side and nearly winning the game. And if you go on the history of the last 10 years, when Saints go to districts and go pretty well with average sides, which has happened for a while, they usually go pretty good at the end of the year. And I thought last year, as I said last week, the 3 Nichols medalists in there in Eilert, Wills and Folo, I don't think anyone's beaten them for over a year. So I reckon they had a very poor side in last week's Saints as well. So I reckon that was 2 good points. Third one, Anthony Villaggio as a coach flogged them. I watched them train on Tuesday night. So that tells me as a coach, he knows what's required. They trained very, very hard. They weren't in celebration mode after a great win. So
going forward again, Ricky Nolan. They've kicked 3 goals to nothing in this last quarter. They trail by just 3 goals. Comes to Baxter Slater. He's getting busy as well. Pokes a kick in towards the left forward pocket. Out comes Jason Purantatameri. Overruns it now to Cheek. Stepping back inside is to Paredes. Here's Ryan Smith. Got his hands to it. Couldn't complete the mark. Harley Purantatameri's about to be run. In fact, it was Cantilla. Comes to Whale Buxton. His kick was ugly, but it's going to be effective. Out to Tipping-Woody at right half back. Side steps Cheek. He's got a man further on down the ground in Alistair Darcy, who waits under it courageously. Anthony Wilson was dropping back on him, but Darcy took the mark. Just steady things down for the Tiwi Bombers.
If they kick on their Saints, it would have been interesting.
He kicks long towards half forward. Waiting at the back of the pack was Jeffrey Simon. Maybe Monagatti could have left it for him. He goes forward and has kicked it all out of bounds. Just must have hit the paint, I reckon.
Saints in a very similar position to where they were last week against Nightcliff. They were trailing Nightcliff by 6 points at the start of the fourth quarter. Ended up piling on 7 goals in the fourth quarter to win. Don't know if they'll get that tonight, but they are certainly hovering with the Bombers right now.
Right, hurry, because I don't reckon there'll be much time on. Right. 8 minutes to go.
Right forward pocket for the Tiwi Bombers, 20 metres around from their goal. Ryan Smith stood like a colossus in the front of the pack. It came out to Ladistida. He kicks back into the centre of the ground. Lots of red jumpers around the footy. There's one green jumper in Ben Rioli, but it comes to Jason Puruntatameri. Lovely left foot kick. Hams in front. One grab. Beautiful mark at centre half forward with a slippery ball. He's 65 metres out from goal. Little kicks delightful to Tungatulum, and this could be the steadying goal. 45 metres out, 45-degree angle at left half forward. The Tiwi Bombers need this one to settle their nerves.
And if my memory serves me correctly, last week Tiwi Bombers up against Southern District. Southern District's got the first 3 goals of the fourth quarter within the first 3 minutes as well. So we saw this last week, that Tiwi Bombers fade early in the fourth quarter.
Tungatulum's been good. This for his first of the night and pushed the margin out to 4 goals. From 45 metres, slightly stuttering attempt. He sets it up high. It's pretty accurate. The goal umpire barely moves. There's the steadier the Bombers wanted. 10-12-72. Saints 7-6, 48, 13 minutes gone last quarter.
Ouch. The St Mary's supporters, that hurt. Henry Lavazida, he had to go to the fat side there. He's brought the ball back in. If Saints are going to score, they're going to score on the other side or through the middle of the field. So I think the runner's got to get out. They've got to go that scoreboard side, and they need a quick one, a very quick one.
4 goals to Jake Best, 3 to Austin Wanamiri, the leading goal scorers for the Tiwi Bombers, and the only multiple goal scorer for St Mary's is Shannon Rioli with 2. So just enough time, I reckon. 4 goals scored in the quarter, 3 to St Mary's, 1 to Tiwi. 13.5 minutes gone. Back in the middle, Liam Whale Buxton up against Smith. Brilliant tap over his head there from Whale Buxton. Came down to Del Munkara. Long kick inside attacking 50. Out comes, is it Lehman who's gone forward? Well, no, for Monagatti it is. Monagatti for the Bombers.
St Mary's, I reckon, is a good move. Ben Rioli's gone forward. If he could kick 3 in the space of about 5 minutes, it might give him a chance.
Monagatti will do the ruck work. And Smith trots down to combat him. Monagatti got front spot. And it's going to be a free kick.
Go with a fast play here. It's got to be quick.
So St Mary's had the footy inside defensive 50. All the way across the face of goal to Tyler Saunders in the right back pocket. His little stabbing ball over the top to Tom Davies. Jackson, Geary. And it might open up here for them. Further down the wing in front of the scoreboard, Salmon Marks cuts his way back behind the oncoming players. Oh, over the head there of Leroy Larson. And here is the very impressive Richard Puruntatameri, handballed onto Hams, onto Farmer. Farmer's kick up towards half forward. Owen Henry started the game terrifically, and Mark 60 metres out from goal at right half forward can go in short to Munkara. Instead he goes a little further than that to Monagatti. Poor marking by the Saints defence. There were 2 or 3 red jumper targets inside 50, and Monagatti will go back from 45 to shoot for goal.
Only 3 ways in Australian rules football you can kick a goal. One from a turnover, other one is from a stoppage or a set play, or from a fullback kick out. They very rarely happen from a fullback kick out. Salmon turned the football over through the middle of the field, and it has hurt St Mary's very, very harshly. We'll see if Monagatti puts this through.
For his 2nd goal of the night, Monagatti sets it out to the left, and the breeze bings it back through the middle. Dion Munkara waves to the Tiwi fans, pumps the fist. I think they're home. 15 minutes gone, final quarter. They were challenged early with Saints kicking the first 3 goals of the last quarter, but the last 2 have gone to the Bombers. The margin back to 30.
I agree. I think Joffa's got the gold jacket, and I think the fat lady is very close to singing, or she's warming up her vocal cords. Yeah, that turnover through the middle of the field killed Saints. They did everything right. They moved the ball quickly. They went to the right area of the ground, and then I think they were looking for, I think it was Leroy Larson in the middle. Ball got turned over, and it was a coach killer.
So impressive by the Tiwi Bombers. They look good at most games this year, but they just, for that, all that effort, 3 wins from 7 games coming into tonight up against the 2nd placed St Mary's as Ben Rioli sends Saints forward, but only as far as the chest of Richard Purantatameri. What a brilliant game he's had. He sends it out towards the right back flank to Adam Tipungwuti. They're rolling again now, the Bombers. A low early in this final term let the Saints back into the match. Up towards Jeffrey Simon. Good contest against the much bigger Ryan Smith, who bashes it out of bounds.
Mr. Wanamari coming off for a rest. Make sure he doesn't get injured late in the game. And St Mary's done the same with Anthony Long. So pretty smart. Two guys that have had a few issues with their hamstrings. Let's bring them off late in the game.
Almost 17 minutes played in the final quarter. It's the Tiwi Bombers by 30 points. After St Mary's got to within 3 goals at the 10-minute mark of the last quarter. Whale Buxton, tremendous game. Best on ground, we think. Smashed it into the path of Taylor Saunders. Ben Rioli goes backwards towards Jacob Long. He's being pushed back towards the Bombers' goal by Tipungwuti. Coming through, Harley Purantatameri. Strong tackle on Mantique by Monagatti. Monagatti wants a free kick. Harley Purantatameri is pushed out of the contest. Monagatti shoves Parnell. And will have a ball up at right half forward for the Bombers. 55 out from goal, close to the boundary line. Smith had front spot, and it's bashed out of bounds for throwing.
This win will do good things for the Tiwi Bombers on the ladder. We know Wanderers went down earlier today to Nightcliff, so this will should at this stage at least boost the Tiwi Bombers up to 5th place.
Push and shove off the ball there between Blake Purantatameri and Tyler Saunders. Boundary throw in. Smith just got a hand to it. Jacob Long. Geary's handball didn't find a target. Hams ran straight into that tough tackle. Long does well and finds Cheek. Defensive side of the wing in front of the grandstand here at TIO Stadium. Cheek's long kick towards half forward. In front, Braxton Armat had the ball spoiled away. Handball comes out to Chris Jones. To Owen Henry, marks on his chest. Late was Ben Rioli, but the mark was paid. At half forward to Hams, back inboard. He wanted to go quickly. Dan Makara might have got in his way then. And the turnover here, Salmon. Pops one over the top to Jackson Geary. Got to be quick. Through 5 goals down at the 18-minute mark. Salmon going one way, Lehman the other. There's a Tiwi Bomber player down in the middle. To Tom Davies. Lehman comes at him. Geary now for St Mary's. Now to Salmon. He runs to 60 metres from goal. Pokes a little kick onto the chest of Leroy Larson. And he marks 45 out directly in front.
Usually fairly reliable shot at goal. It's gone to Paredes.
The player down in the middle is Richard Purantatameri, so let's hope he's okay. He's on his haunches, maybe just winded.
I think Saints have got, I think there's only about 2 to 3 minutes left in this game.
So Paredes will line up for his 2nd goal to bring the margin back to 4 goals. As we see Richard Purantatameri being helped from the ground by a trainer. Stuttering approach by Paredes. Sets it up high and is away to the right-hand side. 7-7-49 St Mary's. Tiwi's 11-12, 78. 19 and a half gone, final quarter.
Tiwi will go into a slow play. They'll use this side of the grandstand. And they'll try and get a couple of stoppages, I think.
Good to see Richard Purantatameri able to come off on his own steam, just clutching his sternum, so could just have been winded from that collision in the middle a couple of minutes ago. Harley Purantatameri offers a lead inside the defensive 50, back inside the channel from the wing. He thumps it long in the Whale Buxton direction, clears his head to Parnell, tosses a handball over the top to Braxton Armat, back inside attacking 50. Oh, almost the one-handed grab there by Mantique, couldn't bring it to ground. He'll go again, fight hard and throw his opponent Harley Purantatameri out of the way. That was Leroy Larson, and comes to Labastida. He's 55 out. He goes to Jackson Geary, who's about 56 out, but a little bit more centrally placed.
Well, they've got Josh Cheek in the goal square, so they've got not a lot to kick to the Saints.
So he's got a man who'd offered a lead in the pocket, and that was Leroy Larson. 45 metres out, 45-degree angle. Leroy Larson will line up for his 2nd goal of the night.
I think Peter McFarlane's gone off, which I think that's just precautionary. He went into the game extremely underdone. I think it'll be better. He'll be better for a run with Jared Waite and Jackson Calder and players of that calibre around him.
And he ends, aren't they? As Leroy Larson sets sail for goal. Wonderful strike. Has it got the carry? No, it hasn't. It was smashed into the goalpost for a behind. So Saints get their second behind of the quarter, 3-2 for the term. 7-9 plays 11-12.
Jackson Payne's another player, that's ex-AFL player that Saints got up their sleeve, was outstanding last week.
Manteet swings a ball back inside attacking 50, close to full time. Hams hacks the kick out of defence. Parnell runs back with the flight of the ball. Coming the other way is Tungatalam. Parnell's there again. Still a chance for the Tiwi Bombers. Opens up here, clever slap on, was good to Wanamiri, out to Cantilla. Cantilla has kicked it out of bounds on the full. Got some late pressure. All fair and above board, I think, although the umpire's now pointing to a free kick. I don't know. I thought it was simultaneous. Not sure. Anyway, free kick comes to the Tiwi Bombers, and Matthew Cantilla will be the recipient.
As I said, I believe St Mary's, I think Jared Waite, Jackson Geary and David Armitage are about to do a block of games, actually. They should be fairly strong Saints for the next month.
He's got the breeze. He sets it out for the left-hand goalpost. He's certainly got the distance. He's a pretty good kick. And there it goes. It's bending through. Well done, Matthew Cantilla. He didn't try and thump it. He just steered it through, used the wind, which straightened it up perfectly. And the Tiwi Bombers have their 12th, and the margin is 34 points. 12-12-84 to Saints 7-8-50.
How good was the use of the breeze?
That was great. Stephen Kernahan, here's this free kick. Maybe a little bit, but put a bit of an academy award on it as well at the end. But a lovely kick.
So the first 3 goals of the final quarter to St Mary's gave them a glimmer of hope. At the 10-minute mark of the last term, it was just an 18-point deficit. The last 3 goals have gone to the Tiwi Bombers. And closing in on full time, the 6th place Bombers look like they'll leap into the top 5 at the end of round 8.
Like always, they start slow. But I think they're coming, aren't they?
Earlier this year, it wasn't until after Christmas last year that they really found some form.
They've got their flying situation sorted this year as well, by the looks of things.
Benrioli's tried hard all night. Adam Tippingwoody grabs it for the Tiwi Bombers, up towards half forward. Parnell. The 1-2 with Braxton Armat. Parnell's kick towards half forward is good, under the chest of Liam Daly, and runs straight away and kicks in towards the forward pocket, but it's ill-directed, and Jones takes the mark in front of Paredes.
He's played well, Jones, had a good game.
And he gives to Baird in the goal square, in front of the Michael Long centre.
Jones, next Oxfield Premiership player.
Roy Farmer, normally a good user by boot, hits the chest of Adam Tippingwoody.
This bloke hasn't had a bad game either.
Tippingwoody now transfers it back to the grandstand side, and Jason Purantatameri. He can give to Alistair Darcy if he wants. He's up the line on the wing. And he's got players even further afield. Dion Mankara will get to him just in time. Copped a late hit from Benrioli. He won't be happy with that. He shouldn't play up to it. There's a little bit of push and shove. I think they're okay. One stage it looked like he might have retaliated, but he kept his tempo in check.
Touch of history between those two.
Gave it to Harley Purantatameri, and on the final siren he blasts one out of bounds on the full. Big win by the Tiwi Bombers, challenged early in the last quarter, but they're 34-point winners, Ricky Nolan, and look pretty good.
They're coming a bit earlier than I thought, Tiwi, but no, they're impressive. Buxton in the middle was really, really good. Adam Tippingwoody and down Mankara, and I thought Ross Tungatala's best game as well.
See plenty of celebrations on the field for the Tiwi Bombers. 12-12-84, defeating St Mary's 7-8-50. You've been watching Aboriginal TV, Channel 4's coverage of the TIO NTFL season. We'll see you again next weekend.